Now, local healthcare providers make a push for vaccinations as a measles outbreak spreads.
And black state lawmakers respond to changes made by Republicans that alter how the state should recognize Black History Month.
Plus, a packed funeral service for a Milwaukee police officer who was killed last week in the line of duty.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. A measles outbreak has prompted local health providers to urge people to get themselves and their kids vaccinated.
And Jamie Perez spoke with a local doctor about the issues surrounding the disease, and she joins us now with the details. Jamie?
Right. Well, doctors recommend that parents get their kids vaccinated when they're about 1 year old. They say it helps prevent spreading the disease and getting the disease in the first place. But there are those who do not get the vaccine, which doctors say is contributing to the rapid outbreak. Calls for vaccination are growing louder after a measles outbreak in the state of Washington. Doctors say it's more contagious than the flu, and it started to make its way across the country.
You're trying to get a measles vaccination
Yeah.
today? Are you not vaccinated right now?
I don't think so, no, but I want to be.
I think everyone should get vaccinated.
But yeah, I'm not really too worried.
At SSM Health, Dr. Tom Merwin urges all his patients to get vaccinated, but says that doesn't always go so well.
So I have to do more tests because your child is at risk for these infections because they haven't gotten vaccines.
What do they say?
Sometimes it doesn't play out well.
Dr. Merwin says he's heard a number of reasons.
It's about our children!
Parents don't vaccinate.
Most of the reasons are not scientifically based.
He said he's heard reasons like it's a hoax by the government and big pharma, religious reasons, and based on a retracted article that says vaccinations are linked to autism.
I mean, autism happens in kids at a certain rate. And if you look at the kids who got certain vaccines like measles, the rate is no higher in them than kids who never got the vaccine.
There are certain people who should not get the vaccine, like if they're under 6 months old, if you are pregnant, or
if they have a true allergy, especially an anaphylaxis, to any of the products in the vaccine.
If you're curious about the rate of immunization at your kid's school, Wisconsin Department of Health has an interactive map on their website. Everything you see in dark purple are areas that have a 95 to 100% rate of immunizations at public schools. Each dot represents a different school, and here in Madison, we are mostly sitting in dark purple. Doctors warn that if you have symptoms of measles, you shouldn't just go to the hospital because it is that contagious. You should call your doctor and ask about how to proceed. While doctors continue to urge everyone to get vaccinated, many others in Madison agree.
I think they're missing the obvious, which you should get your kids vaccinated.
Their kids get sick, then they can't blame anybody else but themselves.
If you are interested in seeing the immunization rate at your child's school specifically, you can find a link to that website online. You just hover over the green dot where your child's school is specifically, and those numbers will show up for you.
Jamie Perez reporting tonight. Jamie, thank you.
Another round of major layoffs for Shopko. The State Department of Workforce Development announced today a total of 578 employees at 11 locations across the state will be affected beginning May 6th. Shopko has recently filed for bankruptcy protections. Among those locations locally, Watertown, Beloit, Monona, and Delavan. A combined 216 employees are expected to lose their jobs at those 4 locations. Well, traffic is still down to 1 lane for about 2 miles along southbound I-3990 for emergency repairs. This is between the Beltline and mile marker 145. The eastbound Beltline ramp to the southbound interstate is also closed. The Department of Transportation says it's for an extreme road failure, potholes, and a deteriorating road. The stretch is expected to be closed through tomorrow.
And this week's snowstorm in Wisconsin was a record setter for some communities. The snow total reached 15.7 inches in Wausau yesterday. That shattered the one-day snowfall record for the city previously set at 13 inches back in 1924 and 1908. Some other impressive snow totals were seen all around the state, including more than 14 inches in Plover, just under 14 inches in Rhinelander. It was also a record setter for Madison. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti now, our first alert forecast. Gary?
Yesterday, Eric, we had 8.3 inches. It was a record for the day. The storm total of 10 inches exactly was not a record, but still pretty impressive nonetheless. And we're not going to add very much to it, at least in the short term. Some light snow showing up in northern Wisconsin. This is out ahead of a warm front that'll bring milder conditions for tomorrow across southern Wisconsin. Right now, all of that snow staying to the north of our viewing area. Visibility is right now at or above 10 miles. Notice Dubuque, Iowa, though, down to about 8 miles. There might be some areas of fog that form overnight, at least in a few spots, especially over the western parts of our viewing area. High temperatures today made it up into the middle to upper 20s. Right now, we're at near our low temperatures for the day here in Madison. We were at 15 early this morning. We're at 18 now, but notice those temperatures already climbing to around 20 over southwestern Wisconsin. Those readings will actually rise overnight. So by tomorrow, look for high temperatures to top out around 38. There's a chance of a rain or snow shower in the afternoon, but colder weather will arrive back again later tomorrow night into Friday. That is your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. And following our latest snowfall, the Dane County Sheriff's Office has a very important reminder for all motorists.
It is quite simple. Move over and slow down. It comes after a pair of incidents last night. One where a deputy got rear-ended while responding to a slide-off, and another when a county snowplow got clipped by a vehicle that got too close. There were no injuries in either crash. Police are also reminding drivers to clear their vehicles of any snow before getting on the road. The Eau Claire Police Department posted this photo of an SUV they pulled over last night around midnight. According to the Post, only the driver's side window was cleared off.
The number of motor vehicle deaths topped 40,000 for the third straight year in 2018. A slight drop from 2017 and 2016, but the National Safety Council says the number of deaths in the U.S. still up 14% from 2015. Experts say, on average, 100 people are killed every day in our country on our roadways. They say distracted driving and driving under the influence continue to be major factors. Beloit Memorial High School will soon begin the search for a new principal. Orlando Ramos has resigned after being put on administrative leave last week. This was his first year with the district. He was hired for the position just this past July. The district did not confirm what led to Ramos being placed on leave, only saying that it was a personnel matter.
Republicans who control the Wisconsin Senate have refused to mention NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick in a resolution honoring Black History Month. On a party line vote this evening, the Senate passed the resolution but did not include the Milwaukee native in the language of that resolution. Kaepernick drew criticism when he began kneeling during the national anthem in 2016 to protest police brutality and racial inequality.
Wisconsin white Republicans told not only that body, but this body and the entire country that a white Republican legislator, that they're best suited to decide for African Americans what we should value, who we should honor.
All state Senate Republicans are white, and none spoke during the debate. Among the names that were added in this resolution, Mandela Barnes, the state's first black lieutenant governor, and Vel Phillips, the state's first black secretary of state. The state Senate today also passed a middle-class tax cut, sending the proposal to Governor Evers, but he has all but promised to veto it. The Republican-controlled Senate passed it 19-14 with all Democrats against. It is the first bill passed by the legislature this session. Evers objects to Republicans paying for the $340 million a year tax cut by tapping budget reserves.
The administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency is resigning. Brock Long made that announcement today, leaving after 2 years on the job. Deputy Administrator Pete Gaynor will become acting administrator. Last fall, Long was the subject of a Department of Homeland Security probe into whether he was misusing government resources. In a statement, Long said in part, quote, "While this has been the opportunity of a lifetime, it is time for me to go home to my family." And new tonight, a federal judge has ruled Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chair, lied to the special counsel, the FBI, and the grand jury intentionally. The judge's findings say Manafort breached his deal with prosecutors by lying after his guilty plea, and it could add years to his prison sentence.
Congressional negotiators are racing the clock to craft a bipartisan budget deal that would avert another government shutdown. President Trump is waiting to see the budget bill put together by Congress, and the White House has signaled he is likely to sign it. The bill includes nearly $1.4 billion for fencing along the Mexican border. That is more than some Democrats had wanted, but far less than the $5.7 billion the White House had demanded.
We haven't gotten it yet. We'll be getting it. We'll be looking for landmines, because you could have that. You know, it's been known to happen before to people.
It's a compromise, and that's what appropriators do. But as with all compromises, I say to people, support the bill for what is in it. Don't judge it for what is not in it.
No votes on the measure are expected before tomorrow evening at the earliest.
The students from a Kentucky Catholic high school seen in the now viral video from outside the Lincoln Memorial last month have been cleared of any wrongdoing. An independent investigation funded by the diocese there found they were not the instigators of the incident. According to the report, none of the high schoolers participated in offensive behavior. For the first time since escaping her captor last month, 13-year-old Jamie Kloss is thanking her supporters from all around the world. Jamie, now living with an aunt, said in a statement today she and the Kloss family expressed their deepest gratitude for the incredible gifts and generous donations that she has received. The statement goes on to say the many kind words Jamie has gotten have been a source of great comfort to her. Now, the criminal complaint says the suspect in the case, 21-year-old Jake Patterson, told police he decided to take her after he saw her getting on a school bus near her home. He's accused of holding her against her will for 88 days after killing her parents in the abduction. Patterson will be in court on March 27th for an arraignment.
Milwaukee's Thin Blue Line honored one of their own today. It was a packed funeral service for fallen officer Matthew Rittner at Oak Creek Assembly of God Church. Family, friends, and fellow officers gathered to remember the 35-year-old for his courage and service. Milwaukee Police Chief Alfonso Morales held back tears as he spoke, saying Rittner died protecting the community and his death wasn't just a casualty of the job.
Died going after the problem that affects our community. They died moving the mission forward. If you think the consequences from the decisions we have pushed onto this department don't hurt, you're gravely mistaken. It hurts in ways that you cannot imagine.
During the procession afterwards, hundreds of mourners lined the streets from the church to the funeral home, displaying American flags and saluting as Rittner's casket passed by. In Phoenix, Arizona, pitchers and catchers reported today for the Brewers, but the organization also took some time to honor Officer Rittner. The Brewers set up a locker in the new clubhouse with a Rittner jersey. 1 year ago tomorrow, 17 people lost their lives when a gunman opened fire on Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
And that tragedy not only transformed that community, but also the entire country, giving way to a student-fueled movement dedicated to addressing gun violence. According to the Giffords Law Center, 26 states and the District of Columbia have enacted 67 new gun control laws in 2018, triple the number from the previous year. But Parkland students who survived the attack say there is much more to be done.
There were 300 plus mass shootings last year, and we're talking about the anniversary of one of them. We could pick any day and it's an anniversary of mass shooting in America. And if that doesn't bother the people watching this, then they are not paying attention.
For the 1 year anniversary at Parkland, some students are going dark. They say they don't plan to do anything publicly so they can simply spend time with their families. Still ahead tonight, caught on camera, some shocking video out of Puerto Rico.
A close call for a cruise ship as it entered the port of San Juan. The video is next. Welcome back. It is a bittersweet day for NASA scientists. The organization has declared the mission of the Mars rover Opportunity officially over, 15 years after its launch.
NASA made the announcement after repeated attempts to contact the vehicle went unanswered. NASA last heard from Opportunity last June before a planet-wide dust storm on Mars blocked sunlight from the spacecraft's solar panels. Launched in 2004, Opportunity vastly outperformed its initial 90-day mission. Among its achievements, finding evidence that water once flowed on Mars. It also examined the first meteorite found on another planet. Some tense moments for a Norwegian cruise ship earlier this week. This video is from a port in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Reports say the ship was being aided by two tugboats when wind picked up and caused it to veer into the two mooring points. The video is pretty incredible, but amazingly, no one was hurt.
Well, here's something many will be excited for, especially kids. Anna and Elsa are headed back to the big screen for Frozen 2. Disney dropped the first trailer for the sequel today. The teaser starts off with Queen Elsa taking on a stormy ocean. It also shows other favorites from the original, including Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven the reindeer. Frozen 2 hits theaters on November 22nd.
Is it filmed on location in Madison, Wisconsin?
I was just going to say, maybe we could just call this Frozen 1B.
We do get a little respite briefly tomorrow, right?
Yeah, actually, temperatures tomorrow should be a little bit about freezing. It's not going to melt very much of the snow, but then temperatures will be back down below normal. But some of the effects of this big snow, well, took my dog Joe out for a walk today. That's Joe. He's about maybe 14 inches high, a little 15-pound Maltese Terrier mix, and that's the tree he's looking for back there, buried in about 5 feet of snow. And on the other side of the driveway wasn't much difference. There's our mailbox. So just the snow. There's just no more place for the snow to go. So hopefully we'll start getting rid of some of this as time goes on. But the last 4 weeks have been very, very busy. 31 inches of snow. That's about 60% of our average annual snowfall has fallen just in the last 4 weeks. First 15 weeks of winter, we had less than 10 inches, and that was exceeded in the storm yesterday. Total of 10 inches with 1.5 inches falling Monday night, 8.3 inches, a record for the day on Tuesday, and 0.2 of an inch after midnight last night into early this morning. Now, there is a little bit of light snow in far northern Wisconsin, just some flurries there, but that's staying to the north. That's actually warmer air that's lifting northeastward and could cause a little bit of fog to form. Right now, we're seeing visibility around 8 miles in Dubuque, Iowa, 9 miles in Waterloo. We could see some patchy fog, especially over the western parts of our viewing area. But while temperatures are in the teens here, notice to the west, they're back into the 20s. So our temperatures will start rising overnight as that milder air starts heading in our direction, but it'll be tempered by that big snowpack that'll keep us from getting too mild. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam, no snow in here or fog right now. High today 26, the low 15. We're just above that low for the day of 15 at 18, but notice skies are mostly cloudy and winds are out of the south at 8 miles per hour, while the wind chill is 8 degrees. That will improve as temperatures rise. Now, the Valentine's Day forecast for tomorrow, temperatures will already be around freezing at 8 a.m., be above freezing at lunchtime, and in the mid-30s by late afternoon. We could see a mix of some light rain and snow showers. That will be mainly late tomorrow afternoon to early tomorrow evening. But off of the Pacific Ocean, the strong jet stream that has been bringing storm after storm into the western part of the country is now flattening out and dropping a little bit to the south. So that's allowing a little colder air in here, but it's also keeping most of the moisture farther to the south. It's kind of directing it more toward the central part of the country rather than the Midwest. So that, at least for the time being, will keep this next weather system from bringing too much moisture, just some light rain and snow showers. And actually, again, it'll be preceded by that warm front where temperatures are still in the 30s and 40s to the south across Nebraska and Kansas, but we're on the cold side of the front. We'll be a little milder for tomorrow. So our forecast calls for a low temperature of about 18 degrees or 17 degrees, and then those temperatures will start rising overnight with some patchy fog possible. Tomorrow, look for cloudy skies, maybe a rain or snow shower late in the day with a high temperature of 38. As we check out future track, you can see those temperatures actually climbing overnight into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. We'll see plenty of clouds for tomorrow, maybe a rain or snow shower late in the day, high temperatures in the upper 30s. Then tomorrow night, the skies clear out as the rain and snow showers move away, but look at the temperatures. They drop to the single digits with strong northwesterly winds. Highs on Friday only in the mid-teens, and those wind chills tomorrow night maybe 5 to 15 degrees below zero. 10-day forecast calls for temperatures to remain slightly below normal. There'll be a chance for some snow on Sunday. That'll be a minor system, maybe an inch or two of accumulation. Even lesser chance on Wednesday, and maybe a little bit of snow toward the end of next week into the weekend, but no major storm systems, knock on wood, at least for the next 10 days. That'll be good news there.
Always good to see Joe making a cameo in the newscast. We got to bring him out
I had
more
to show
often.
the snow over his head.
That's
Well, it doesn't take much
perspective.
snow.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, they're catching up on the high school sports schedule. We'll go to Spring Green for some team wrestling sectional action just ahead in sports. Stay with us.
Last night, Stoughton earned its 6th straight trip to the state wrestling team tournament. The rest of the sectionals that were snowed out last night go tonight, including the Division II sectional in Spring Green at River Valley High School. Prairie du Chien and Gail Ettrick Trempolo Melrose Mindoro make the sectional final. At 152 pounds, Prairie du Chien's Braden Saint gets the near fall points there. He gets the 9-1 decision. Then at 170, Prairie's Tyler Smock gets the fall in 1:27. Chieftains up 6, but GET Mel Min too much for Prairie. They get the win 45-31, and they'll head to Team State. Also tonight, Holman beat Wanakee 59-19, and in Division III, Fenimore advances to state with a 62-15 finals win over Riverdale. Tomorrow night, the Prep Mania game of the week is a dandy. Middleton and Sun Prairie play for first place of the Big 8 Girls Basketball Conference. Brof and I bring you the game live on channel3000.com. That's tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. The Badger men's basketball team has a few days before its next game, which is Monday when Illinois comes to the Kohl Center. Badgers have won a lot of Big Ten games, but they've also come oh so close to winning a lot more, including last night's 67-59 loss to Michigan State. The Badgers were right there in the final minutes, but Kenny Goins' three-pointer helped decide it. With only 6 games left in the regular season, the Badgers need to find ways to win these kind of games.
Regardless of the opponents across the league, you watching the other games, they're coming down to the last, 2-3 minutes, but there's so many things in the other 37 minutes that we can be better at, and we got to be better in the last 3 minutes in certain areas, and finishing plays, converting at the free throw line. It's a wide variety of things, and more than maybe just the last 5-6 possessions.
Tonight on the UW campus at the Porter Boathouse, rowers from Wisconsin, Stanford, MIT, Princeton, and Syracuse compete in the 4th annual Connors Erg Challenge. The goal is to raise money to fight childhood brain cancer. The event is in honor of Robert Connor Dawes, an 18-year-old who lost a year-long battle with brain cancer, who dreamed of rowing at Stanford or Wisconsin.
Especially young kids, now I'm sounding like, hey, get off my lawn, kind of old guy, but they just think they're going to live forever. And if we can do our little part, especially here at UW, where there's such an incredible medical establishment, to raise some money and for a great cause, and also have some fun.
Brewers pitchers and catchers reported to Arizona today in spring training. The first official workout is tomorrow. Brewers' first spring game is against the Cubs a week from Saturday. Opening day Thursday, March 28th at Miller Park against St. Louis. And NBA Bucks at Indiana. There's your newest Pacer. Wesley Matthews got out of New York. Glad to be in Indiana. Giannis Antetokounmpo was unbelievable again tonight. The Bucks were down 10, but Giannis brings it back. After that dunk, he needs one more assist to get his 5th triple-double of the season. And when he zips this pass to Ersan Ilyasova, there it is. 33 points, 19 rebounds, 11 assists. Bucks 106, Pacers 97. Bucks 43-14 at the All-Star break. And we'll be right back.
Be a little milder for Valentine's Day tomorrow, but maybe a rain and snow shower late in the day, then a little colder.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.